So I'm gonna jump through here how you can create an assignment or assessment rather in OnCampus. So I'm starting on the OnCampus page. Let's say I want to add an assessment for my English 12 class. Open that up, go to the assignment section. And then on the right, I'm going to click Add Assessment. There are some limitations to this, but you'll see as we go what those are. So I'm going to name it, we'll call it, say, 1984 Test 1. This test is going to be worth 50 points, but each question is worth a different amount of points. So I have to change this from divided equally to assigned per question. If all of your questions are worth 2 points or 1 point or something, you can divide equally. But if there's anything on there that's a different number of points, you have to assign per question. Time to complete, I'm not going to put anything in there. We have too many kids with extended time and other issues going on, so I'm going to leave that. I do only want them to attempt this one once. The questions I'm going to have appear one at a time. You can choose listed all together, and if there are only 10 questions and they're all on the screen at once, that's not too bad. But I like going one at a time personally. I do not want them to go in random order. I want them to go sequentially through the novel, so I'm going to say no to that. Save for later. I'm going to put yes. With everything going on, I'm going to let a kid save, and then I just have to allow them to continue it later. This one's going to go in tests and projects because it's a test. Make sure if you're going to be grading it that it is something with that GB so that it is in your grade book. Since it's going in the grade book, I'm going to call it 1984 T1. It's already 50 points. Great. And I'm going to assign this. They're going to take this on the 8th. So I'll put assigned on the 8th. I'm going to put a timestamp in there. This class is going to start at 9 a.m. So I'm going to put that, and it's going to be due on the 8th as well. So that 9 a.m. just means it won't open until 9 a.m. They can't get in there earlier than that. I'm going to publish it now, so they'll be able to see that it's there now, but they won't be able to get in until that assigned time of 9 o'clock. So that'll be fine. If you have another class that meets that period, you can hit add more. Go down, find the other classes. So if your language arts class also is going to take this test, or your honors class is also going to take the same test, you can put them in there. Like I can put the honors class in, apply, and I can say, well, they're going to take the exact same test, but they're going to do it on the 9th, and their class meets at 12:30 or whatever the case might be. That's not true of this. I have a different test for the honors class, but so I'm going to uncheck it. But if you did have the same people taking it, that's how you would do it. And you'd hit save and add questions. Description, often I just leave it blank. But if you have any instructions for the test, this is where you put them. So you put them right in there, and then the begin button is where the kids would click to begin the test. Then questions tab. You're just dragging and dropping from these 4 choices. An essay question, which is something I'm going to have at the end, and it's going to be worth 20 of those 50 points. And the essay question, the prompt is going to go here. Prompt for essay question. If you have a pre-made test in, say, Word or something, you can just copy and paste something right in there, which might make it easier for you. I'm not going to put a character limit on it because I don't think I'm too worried about the kids writing too much. So I've got my points. Great, that question is there. A fill in the blank. This is great for vocabulary. So if you wanted to put something in here like Woodland School is blank. And then you can put whatever the right answer is. Incredible. You do have to check though, because I'll put only one correct answer in here. With our students, they might spell it incorrectly or something, so it might automatically get marked as wrong. Again, don't forget to assign how many points you have. Great. You can add media. If I wanted to add an audio clip or embed a video or some a photo or something, you can do that as well. And then, like I said, you put the correct answer for the blank right down there. Just know that you can override if they mistype it or something later, so don't do stress. Multiple choice. This is one of the ones I use the most in these. Again, don't forget to assign your points for your question. Notice how when I assign points, down here it tells me how many points I've assigned of the total number. So I still have 26 points to assign for all of my questions. You type your question here and all of the answer choices below. Now you can add a bunch. So there's nowhere on here to do a word bank, but if you have multiple choice questions, and if each one of those multiple choice questions has the word bank's worth of answers, then you're in good shape. You choose which one is correct for each question, and move on down the line. Same thing, you can add media to that as well. And then true false is the other option there. Is it true? Is it false? Whatever, put your question in and mark what's correct and move along. You can switch it to other things. So if you have anything else that's binary, if you are teaching the difference between a metaphor and a simile, for example, you can use true false questions and you can say like, is this one's a metaphor or a simile, and it becomes, you know, that same binary true false. Just make sure to say which one's correct and make sure to assign your points. Once you have assigned all of your points and everything looks good, you do want to go to the results tab and make sure that this looks like what you want it to look like. So you may not want students to view the results page, and that's fine. I usually say, yeah, let them look at it. I do say, like this one, I put no for personally. But again, you may want to say yes on this as well. What this one means is no one can look at the results, their results for the test, until everyone has submitted it, essentially, or has submitted it at least once. So if you're worried that one kid is going to finish, look at the results page and share all the answers with another kid in the class, okay, then yes, you want that to happen. If you're not really worried about it, then you hit no. I always do show the questions on the results page, and I show them how many points they earned for it. You may or may not show the right answer, again, if you're worried about kids sharing it. I tend not to show them the amount of time used because I don't want them worried about it. And if you're allowing them to submit it more than once, then maybe you have the option there for them to immediately go in and do it again. If you're only letting them submit it once, then you just leave that as no. There's no need for them to do it. And let me go back to my questions just to make sure I get all the points, so I get all the proper options here. 26, great. So I've assigned 50 of my 50 points. Right, yep, all are good there. Cool, cool, cool. Total questions 4, results seem set. Cool. And double check my settings, also good, cool. And that's it, it auto saves as you go. So everything is saved in there and ready to go. You can preview the assessment right down here, which is a good idea. You hit begin, you make sure that everything looks the way you want it to look. Obviously, these do not look the way I want them to look necessarily, but this is just a test one. When they get to the end, they'll submit their answers. It will prompt to confirm that they want to. Super, and then they get their answer choices there. So, or they're finished there. So if you previewed it and you like it, then you're fine. You just go back to assignments, and if I hit future, I should see it down in my, yep, there it is in my tests and projects for the 8th. So it's there, it's ready to go. You can change it up until the point that someone takes it. So keep that in mind. You may want to be ready to change it. But But yeah, those are the basics. You really do only have those 4 answer types in OnCampus. So if you find that too limiting, you want to try other assessment tools, that's perfectly fine, but this is one option. So hopefully that'll help. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.